Hello! Welcome to What's Your Home Story. This is Vidya. So today we have the part 2 of the garden tour. I posted the part 1 last week. My original plan was to combine everything together and put in one video, but then the length became too much. So today we have my front yard garden and as well as the two side gardens. I have a shade garden bed on one side, which I have not shown before here on this channel, but I do have a blog post where I list out each and every plant that I have in my shade garden, their growing conditions and everything. I'll link to that in the description as well as out up here. So if you want to know more details, please do check out. So please don't forget to subscribe and also click the bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new videos. So let's go ahead and start the tour. Before we go to the front bed, I want to show you my shade garden. This is in the north side of the house, and of course the AC unit is right there. Here I have an ostrich fern and a heuchera. Ostrich fern was a division from a friend. She just gave me one, and now it's all spread all over the area. Heuchera was a generic one from Home Depot, so don't know what the name is. Out here I have a hosta. Again, most of the hostas in here, actually all of the hostas in here, I don't know the names. This was a division from a friend, and it's its third year, so it's doing really, really good. These two actually were, this is how I started the bed itself. Again, a division from a friend. I just planted this here, and I realized, why don't I just start a new bed on this side, because anyway it's full shade. I have a couple of Astilbe here. These are the Astilbe blooms. I think it's Astilbe chocolate shogun. The leaves are really, really dark maroon, almost brown actually. And then behind the Astilbe, more ostrich ferns, and in here I have a Brunera. This is the Jack Frost, I think. It was in full bloom in spring, kind of getting hidden between the Astilbe and the fern. I might have to move it. Here I have another hosta. Again, it's small because I think it's its second year. Maybe next year it'll start picking up. This is again a general one from Home Depot. I also have a strawberry vanilla hydrangea that is starting to open up. I think this is its third or fourth year, I'm not sure. So the blooms start out this light lime greenish whitish color, and then in fall, once the cooler temperatures set in, it has the strawberry vanilla color. So I think on top it's the white, and then slowly it's an ombre shade of pink and deepening towards the bottom. In June, the front yard is a mix of red and yellow. As you can see, the carpet rose actually is all in bloom, and then the St. John wort is also doing really, really well this year. Full of blooms. These yellow almost looks like earrings actually to me. Out here, the coreopsis is in bloom, and as you can see, the drift rose, the icy drift, the white one, is also in bloom. Again, these are the close-ups of the red carpet rose, very pretty. Over there we have the bee balm right next to the Mexican primrose. The bee balm is actually a shorter version than the typical ones. Here we have the onyx and pearl penstemon, and in front of that the second coreopsis in full bloom. Again, another red drift rose. This is also in full bloom. It actually has grown quite a bit, very overgrown, but has so many of these blooms that I don't want to prune it. The hosta here is also doing well. Another St. John's wort bush, and as you can see behind that, there is a drift rose which actually flopped from the recent rains. It's full of blooms but completely flopped. Again, on this side, we have St. John's wort and the hot pink yarrow. It's slowly opening up. Over here we have the icy drift rose. Again, this was taken a few days before the last video, so the flowers are a bit more fresh, all flopped from the rain, but you can imagine how it used to be with these roses on the other side as well. But what can you do? It's all gone from because of RRV. I had to remove all of those, but very, very pretty rose and no maintenance. Out here you can see the Buddha. It almost looks like he's hiding behind the roses. The daylilies are also open. Again, not sure what the name is. Was a division from a neighbor. Out here I have my bobo hydrangeas. They're slowly opening up. Remember the video where I planted them? So these were online purchases from Home Depot, and the plants were pretty small if you remember from the video, and now they are opening up. Out here the drift roses are done. I like the lime green, that color that they have right now. They're going to soon turn into white. In the hanging basket, we have calibrachoas, two different colors, dusty miller and nasturtiums. And here we have the Happy Jack Clematis. Again, this is a new addition this year, online plant from Home Depot. The plants were pretty small, but now I have a lot of buds on these. There was a red Asiatic lily here, which is done now. And here we have stonecrop sedum. It is blooming now. Usually sedums bloom in fall, but this is blooming now. In the front step planter, a Peruvian daffodil is blooming. I have a couple more of these. And there is salvia and petunia also in the same planter. The mums are of course blooming now out of sync, and the calibrachoas and coleus is doing really good in these spots. Actually, the other one in the other planter, the calibrachoa is doing really good, as you can see. And more mums blooming now. I don't know if I'm going to have blooms in fall at this rate. The elephant ear seems to be doing okay, and below that I have lobelia, the blue flowers, that's lobelia. The Chrysandra, or the Kanagambaram as we call in India, is a recent addition from Lowe's, I think. I used to have one, but that kind of died on me in the winter. Behind that is a tuberose. Again, I had multiple varieties of tuberose, single, double, yellow, but all of those rotted in the garage over the winter. So this one a friend gave me. In the railing planters, nasturtium is blooming. It started from seed, most of the stuff in here except the salvia. This is the view from here. As you can see, the St. John swat and the carpet roses and the drift rose. Again, from my steps. This is exactly 1 week after the earlier video, and as you can see, it's just a sea of red out here. The carpet roses, which definitely are not carpet, are going nuts. I always used to complain that these are way too tall to be called carpet, but this year they made up for it. They're blooming like crazy. I think all I did was added some osmocote and maybe some Epsom salt. So I'm loving these guys. I'm really happy with how they turned out this year. But there are a lot of bugs. This is peak Japanese beetle season 2. So I think it's, I don't know, there's a rose sawfly, and I see some green caterpillars on there. I don't spray anything because then it'll be too much of work for me. So I just leave them as is. Down here I have a zinnia. Something is eating that. The alliums have not opened up yet. The white salvia is blooming little by little. And again, St. John's wort, it has a couple of blooms, but then I think the peak season is done. There is a new petunia here. I forget from where I got it, either Home Depot or Lowe's, and it's called Star Rose. The daylilies, these are what the builder gave us. They are doing really well. I divided these a couple of years back, and they took a year to recover. Yeah, actually 2 years back, and last year they were kind of recovering and they didn't really bloom to full potential. But now I think the division kind of really helped them. Every single one of them has blooms, and it looks very pretty. As you can see, it's planted all around our holly and is blooming very well. In the side yard, the butterfly bush is blooming very well. It's actually grown quite wild. This is against our dining room window, so we kind of wanted to act like a screen between our neighbors and us, which it did. It has grown that big, but then I ended up having to trim this at least twice a year. Even then, it grows so huge. It's pretty wide and tall, so kind of takes up quite a lot of space, as you can see. Behind that, we have a Sweetbay Magnolia. This is something that the builder gave us. It has a slight fragrance of flowers, and it's much smaller than the magnolia that we have in the back. It blooms pretty well during this time, and can you see the flowers? It's way smaller. So this tree likes a protected spot because it was out in the front and it did not do well at all. So we moved it to the side and it grew so tall. So hope you like the garden tour for June. I will post an updated tour for July. Again, I already started seeing new blooms in the garden. So the backyard definitely has a completely different look. The front, I have to prune all the roses because they're done with their first round. So once I prune, they will come back and start blooming by the end of July. Thank you for watching. Happy gardening.